2, 1. All right, well, we're going to have to. No, I want that way. Hold up. Ah. Yep, stay still. You got it. Perfect. Ah. Got it.
It's heavy.
All right. And we are now live. Whoops. Oh, I know what I'm doing now. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so you got a couple people jumping already. Yeah, Jerry's last. There we go. Yes, while we're answering questions, I'll be looking at questions on my tablet this time. We make sure to bring it in.
X12 here. Sorry.
You probably turn your volume down.
I turned it off. My bad.
So we got Kyle here. We're just waiting on Jerry to show up. He should be here any minute, and we'll get into the good stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to see if y'all would guys give this a share.
That's yours.
Yeah, I thought I turned my notifications off. Hold on. Let's quiet them down. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Got it.
It's all right. So give us a sec. Gonna share this around on the social medias. I keep forgetting I don't have them all up on the main screen on my tablet.
Alright, so let's go over here and get the YouTube.
What the world?
Got 44 people watching there, buddy.
God, I feel like I'm brand new right now.
Well, it's definitely one of those things where you have to get everything paired up. Let's see.
Yeah, again, just give us a few minutes. We're Jerry's running a little behind, so a couple more minutes to get him in here and give us a chance to share these links around on social media right now. Let's see if he posts this time. There he is.
Oh. Jerry!
Yeah, I'm late again.
What's up, Derek?
Yeah,
We got two cameras live right now.
Oh, sweet. On YouTube?
Yeah, we're both on YouTube right now. You get TikTok yourself this time.
Oh. Kyle crushed me on TikTok.
That's tough. Well, apparently, to get monetized on YouTube, I need at least 1 million watches.
1 million watches on a live?
No, just in general.
I thought it was like 10 million
Watch time.
on time.
Watch time, yeah.
Do you have the YouTube Studio app?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one of the most difficult things for me. I already had, well, basically the subscriber count, because I transferred my old YouTube channel over when I created the unofficial channel. I had enough subscribers, and whatever the third thing was, I had everything but the watch time. Then it was 400,000 minutes of watch time we had to have, which ain't nothing nowadays.
I think it's 10 million on shorts now.
What's up, Kyle?
Yeah, that
In 90 days, though.
shorts didn't even exist back then.
In 90 days? Where are you at? 2 clicks, 3 clicks?
I'm all the way up. I just don't have
3
my.
clicks west.
I'm all the way up on the tripod. My extension is all the way down though.
I have full extension on it.
My extension is 110. tech support.
So actually, I'm gonna do this real quick.
Hey, guys.
If y'all would,
Okay.
we're getting really close to that 10,000 limit on TikTok. I'm at 9,961, so 31 more followers, no, 39 more followers. And
Y'all
I'll hit
go
that
create some-
10,000 mark.
Yeah, create some fake accounts and follow.
Yeah, that too. So at Sundown Unofficial
Add forward,
on the
so.
TikToks.
The tickety-tackety.
I think I can do
Guys,
this.
Derrick's got some cool new decals here available on his
I
website.
was gonna make sure and show them off.
I just figured I'd show it
Oh,
on.
Go
shit.
ahead, go ahead.
My bad.
So you can grab your Sundown Unofficial decal, your Sundown
I gotta remember how to get
Only
back to my
Sundown
comments.
Audio, Sundown Hub, Sundown American Flag, and we've got Sundown Money. And of course, not last but not least, we got the only unofficial decal. So he's only got
There we
limited
go.
quantities
Fine,
right now. They're available at sundownunofficial.com. Good.
Yeah. No, I've been doing, in the process of moving this week.
What?
So that's why I've been a little slow on some of the videos.
We're neighbors
And,
now.
Yeah, kinda.
That's the thing.
We're creating a Sundown village right around the corner.
Literally.
Yeah, no joke, 4 of us in work literally live across from each other.
There you are, everybody.
How do I turn the camera around on here?
Alright, let's see.
On what?
Any update on the truck or project SPL? So I need to make a video on kind of what's going on with the box truck and project SPL and why there hasn't been any box truck videos. I do have a couple videos in the hole that I haven't posted, but the short and sweet of it is DB Drag changed their rules this year. So I was building box truck to compete with DB Drag. Obviously, project SPL has been competing with there for years now, for about 4 years. And DB Drag decided to change the rules and go backwards from unlimited deadener to a deadener limit. And it has now made Project SPL illegal for its class, Super Street. And that's really irked me. And I know the rule wasn't intended to get at me or whatever. I was kind of an innocent bystander there. But yeah, since they changed the rules, my Project SPL is now illegal for its class in DB Drag. The solution they proposed to me was move to a different class. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. I built it for a specific class. I did it for a very specific reason, and it's been legal all these years, and it wasn't until they changed the rules that made it illegal per the new deadener thickness. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with Project SPL, but I will not rip deadener out of it. It still has the exact factory appearance, which
Yep.
I sent pictures to DB Drag, and they all agreed. Every judge that's looked at it has agreed with me that it was all factory appearance. Looked OEM, all my trans hump, my seat humps, all that stuff's still there. But yeah, I'm not gonna in good conscience, because I will say they kind of hinted that just looking at it, no one would ever inspect my deadener thickness. And I'm like, no, I know there's some areas in there that are thicker than 2 inches, and I will not in good conscience compete illegally. I've never done that, and won't do it now. So that's what's up with Project SPL. Thinking of doing something else with it, not sure yet, but we got some ideas going. At the same time, because I was building the box truck to compete with DB Drag, now I don't know what I'm gonna do. Actually, I haven't touched the box truck in a long time. Got the cab back from sandblasting, set the thing there in pieces, just lost all my motivation because of what happened with those rules. So that's what's up with that.
Had a few people say that's gonna be a loud neighborhood that y'all live in now.
And I'm hoping not. I'm kind of picky about my house. I never bass out around the house.
I do every day, actually.
I didn't even know you had bass in your truck.
Yeah, I have a ZB6 12 and an Assault 3.
So why have I never heard it? Is it that quiet?
No, man. See, you're gonna make me go get my truck and bring it in the building. That's
We're gonna drive it right on in the testing room.
Man, I think my
be
Wi-Fi
cool.
on my phone is like quality. Look at that quality.
That's what I'm trying to figure. Guys, let us know. Is it?
Is the quality bad on the video,
Yeah.
guys?
Do the videos look kind of awful?
Oh, no.
Let me know in the comments.
Oh, I got a question. I love this one. Best shallow sub. I feel like the term best is always going to be relative.
SML.
So
Brand new one.
it just so happens
Oh, you got one.
we have the SML 10. So when somebody says best shallow sub, I automatically think that shallow is your top priority. And if it is, then this is your sub.
I'm looking for it.
So yeah, that's a 10. I got a 12 in here too. Where's my tape measure?
That's what
There it is. SML 10. It is bad, it is beefy. We're looking at about 3 3/4 of mounting depth. But that's it for best shallow mount. offered in 10s and 12s, available right now from your favorite authorized Sundown audio dealer.
And
I would recommend going and checking out caraudiobargain.com. Put multiple things in that shopping cart. There's sometimes I've heard that there's some good discounts once you put multiple items in your shopping cart. So go check it out, caraudiobargain.com.
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't happen to have an STDN in here still? would
No,
you?
STDNs are up from the office waiting to get the specs pulled. So we're doing field smalls, parameters, testing on them. Beginning of the week, I got all the 10, 12, and 15, got them all broken in good, beat the snot out of them pretty well. There's some videos, so I went live for the 15. I think I did 20 minutes straight at 20 hertz, and then absolutely blasted it there at the end. We crinkled this, wrinkled the surround pretty good on it, just blasting it mechanically. Check out that video on YouTube. That's on here on the Sundown Unofficial channel if you haven't seen it yet. There's some shorts floating around of the 10, the STDN 10. I know you've got a good one up. I've got one up. Jacob Morris put one up. He snuck in here and got some footage of it. Yeah, I beat the absolute snot out of the STDN 10 to the point of mechanical noise. And had a pair of SAE 2500s, one on each coil at 1 ohm. STDNs are only available in dual 1 ohm. Keep that in mind when ordering them.
How in your camera am I? Like whenever I read my comments, I don't want to be like just.
No, it's just a big old crotch shot.
Okay.
No, I'm fine. I got one
I was cool
loyal
with it.
person here. I got 6 people in here.
Yeah,
It says a little grainy, is what everybody's telling me.
Oh,
okay.
we
I
got
know
a lot
mine
of.
looks awful on my tablet.
Yeah, tablet looks awful.
Oh, my bad. I forgot that was a phone. We actually have a lot of questions in here.
Yeah, start asking away.
All right, looks fine. Somebody
see
asked
this
about
Z8.
real-time power on the STDN.
Here you go. Let's move your phone over here.
Okay.
We're scissoring each other apparently.
I figured that's how that was gonna go. I figured that was an audio thing that people did.
There we go. There you go, Jerry.
You telling me you haven't been in like an awkward predicament and an install?
Yeah, we might figure out a way to get your phone back further. Actually, take it back by the door or something. If you don't need to plug it
Take
in.
it in the hallway.
Will that get a good angle?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just can't read it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you didn't
that's
bring,
I would just have to
you
sprint.
didn't
all the way.
prepare?
No, I didn't have.
All right, so what's your next question, Jerry?
Here, let me see. Let me go to Jerry.
Hang on a second. I'll be right back. I gotta go see what it is. Hey, can y'all hear from that far away? Is that a problem?
They're all deaf.
Yeah, me listening to the audio on my phone from the last live feed we did, the audio came out really good. It was all pretty good.
Can you trade in multiple items? Yes, you can. You just have to go to our website, sundownaudio.com, click on the support tab, drop down, submit an RMA, and then put in the comments that you'd like to trade, and we'll respond with an email and give you all that information from there.
Nice.
And I will walk back occasionally to check on comments.
Yeah, you should read the comment and walk back here to answer them. That way we can get it on all the lives.
Sorry,
It's
Jerry.
okay, you'll get used to it.
My bad.
Can we see the Z8? Yes, will be videos on the Z8 coming maybe tomorrow.
Really?
Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Well, I'm probably gonna bring it in here, do some hardcore testing on it, and shoot some videos and post them up over the weekend. To be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing with the Z8. Just keep in mind, it is a Frankenstein right now. It is not the actual no part of it except for the coil. The coil's original. I think the spider, the cone. It's got a complete cone adapter on it. It looks like shit, to be honest. It looks like full trash. It works. It works, and we can use the coil, and I can do thermal tests and some of the mechanical tests. We just know once we get the actual production parts in, it's going to be a way better subwoofer. But it'll still be cool to put out some videos right now because
Right.
that Z8 has a really, really good looking booty on it for a 8.
I would say so. And it's got my favorite feature, the thumb hole.
You see my short? So I've got the Sundown hub. I'm gonna make that a weekly thing. Every week we're gonna molest a subwoofer.
Jesus.
That's a word we can't use on TikTok.
Oh crap! I forgot. Okay,
Everybody's phone just said.
we can't use that word on
All the
YouTube.
viewers just went down.
So we're gonna have relations with a subwoofer on a weekly basis, and we're just gonna call it the only Sundown hub.
Torture
videos.
test from STDNS.
All right, Kyle, you got a
We
question?
might be able to get
Not
that
yet,
in the
man.
next live. It's currently in the front office.
Everybody's on your channel, but I'm just trying to get the live.
Yeah, I got 80 people watching right now. So Jerry, you got another question for us?
I got 51
We'll
and
go back and forth.
okay. Red Rooster 379, thank you for the follow.
Alright, does Sundown still make a 4-inch coil subwoofer? We do not currently have a 4-inch coil subwoofer in production. The team subs have historically all been 4-inch coils. Jake gave a little bit of info on our last live feed about the team sub, I believe. There's a design in the works. It's just not a top priority right now. It's kind of back burner thing, but yeah, there will be a team sub coming back out. There will be a 4-inch coil sub coming back out. There might even be, I know a few people have seen the Monster, the big 5-inch coil. There's a lot of crazy stuff in the works. We prototype stuff well in advance. It was like you see NSV6s we've had for, I don't know, a year or so, probably more than that. We've had the motors. We prototype stuff way in advance. And yeah, there will be a team sub coming back out eventually. You're up, Jerry.
I'm up.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have questions or am I pulling?
No, so I thought you had it. You were reading the question over there.
Reading a question and coming back and answering it.
Basically.
Yeah, I was gonna try and go back and forth. Let you get a question. I'll get a question.
All right. Let's see. Best amp to run 4 SAV212s on.
Salt 12K.
Yeah, no. Don't
Yes.
do that. Don't
Yes,
do that.
definitely do that.
Don't do that. I would do that.
What's your answer, Jerry?
My answer? What are those rated at? Are we doing ratings or are we doing?
4K.
There's one sitting right up there. Yep. There's a box if you want to read it.
Oh wow, that
Say
made it
4 of them.
way more awkward now. I'd say Assault 6. It's better to have overhead.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go at least Salt 8. I'm a huge fan of overhead, and
He likes more overhead.
Yes.
Than I think that's.
yeah. Well, so what people do when you end up with too small of an amp, people are more inclined to overdrive the amplifier, and the more you overdrive the amplifier, the more you're gonna clip it and induce heat for no reason. Clipping will spike your current, spike your heat, cause your cold. Clipping because you clip off the wave and you end up with a flat top on your wave, which then it causes your coil to hang and just basically heat soak for no reason. So the more overhead you have, the more likely you are to not abuse your subwoofers in that way. Get a bigger amp than needed, set it accordingly. You don't have to use all of the power. It's like if you have a 800 horsepower car, you don't drive around every day with your foot, constantly to the floor. You're gonna goose it every now and then, but you don't just red light it and hold it there. So I'll treat Kali the same way.
Anytime I have overhead, I end up having to get recombs.
Yeah, you
That's what throws me
still
off.
got to be able to play responsibly.
I've never been able to do that.
All right, how? Here's one for you, Kyle. What's your opinion on the Solo X? We got one here.
What's my opinion on it?
What's your opinion on it?
I think they're pretty kick-ass, man.
Did you both of them?
Kick ass.
This is actually the full one.
Oh, okay.
So I took one out of the box yesterday, straight out of the box, brand new, and just disassembled it all the way down to the motor and basket being apart and stuff. So I plan on doing a video on disassembling one of these and putting it back together. Keep in mind, just because I disassembled a brand new woofer straight out of the box, doesn't mean it's blown. It still works. You put it back together. That's why they made the design like it is, because you can actually take it out. Some people have trucks and stuff like that. They don't want to run the chrome rims in the wintertime, so they put factories on. So you can do this in the winter. You can just take your speakers apart and put them up for summer. Just checking. But you see what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
I think these are awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was back there earlier, and then Kyle showed me the one. He's fully disassembled, so everything's in pieces from the motor to the frame to the entire drop-in assembly.
Right.
And it's actually really cool that you can just disassemble. Even a working subwoofer, you can take it completely apart and just put it back together like Legos. Just
Yeah, it's just like
interlocks
Legos.
and bolts together. It is really cool design.
Now keep in mind, this is pretty much the Solo X series. This is not going to be the only Solo X. They're going to have different ones in the future. So keep your eyes out on these guys, because they're definitely cool to see in person, and also they're heavy as shit in person. I think this weighs about 63 pounds. I think.
We threw it on the scale.
Yep.
Found
So-
out how beefy and girthy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We found it. Kyle's got a pretty cool video of that.
Are those gonna be regular mounted or inverted, or how are you gonna do it?
So my plan is to cage the van. We're gonna be doing a 6 order with 16 of these with 16 Warhorse 3600.1s. So these are gonna be all inverted. Yep.
Yeah, in case y'all didn't know, Kyle is working on an Astrovan build right now. And is it a Justin's?
It's currently, I drive it every day to work and stuff. I just gotta gut it out. So we're slowly doing like second skin deadening inside of it. Just trying to get everything prepped. So once the time comes, we can actually get the metal frame built in there for the cage and stuff like that. So,
So give them a quick rundown of what are you gonna run? How many subs?
Okay.
Amps?
As far as subs wise, of course, we're gonna do 16 12-inch Solo X. And then we're gonna do 16 Warhorse 3600.1s, and we're gonna do some 4 channels, about 30 7-inch Street Series mid ranges, quite a few tweeters.
30.
30, yeah. We want to be loud. And,
Huh?
and those things are screaming. I have a few videos I haven't posted yet, but make sure to check out my YouTube channel.
Yep.
You know,
YouTube straight clipping.
straight clipping STR8 CLPN. So
It's on the shirt.
yeah, it's on the shirt. And look at that. You can grab your shirt too at baseheadtees.com. We're just throwing plugs in there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Kicker reached out to me. We're doing a lot of cool things. I had some wheel sponsors, Audio Effects out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. They sponsored the wheels. Let's see, Second Skin Audio Deadening. They actually helped me out. They sponsored a lot of deadening in the vehicle already. Working with McMahon Alternators. They're helping me get some alts on there. So if you're a company or business that, you know, thinks you want to advertise with me, feel free to reach out to me. But we're working on a few more sponsors, and we can get this thing wrapped to get you all the sponsors that have donated and stuff to get you promotion and stuff like that.
So what's some of the products you think you're needing right now? Anything specific you thought about yet?
Right now, I'm trying to reach out to a few battery companies to see if they want to, you know, jump in on the whole bandwagon, I guess you'd say, as far as getting this build out there, because you know, Kicker's a pretty big name, and they've got their hands on a lot of things, and if they ever do anything publicity wise, I'm sure your logo will be involved.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Kicker has a pretty big marketing budget that they do every year. So, and they're jumping back into the bass head scene very specifically. I've actually talked to several of the guys over there at Kicker about. Well, this is something they were working on this, I think, pre-COVID, and then COVID had hit and crashed a lot of plans for car audio guys. And so yeah, they've been working on this big push to get back in the little bit more niche, big bass head scene. You know, there's the big boom and wild hair tricks and all that stuff. So yeah, they finally got on this, and there's going to be a ton of exposure for whoever jumps on this build with Kyle.
For sure. Yep. It's pretty cool, man. Pretty exciting. Jared,
All right.
any new
questions? Let's see.
That's right, Kyle.
And while you're reading one, I'll jump on in real quick. How many watts peak can some U-Series 15 take? So I'll say this: if your U15 is rated 1500 watts, 1500 is laughable for a good 3-inch roll sub like that. But as far as peak, I don't know if you mean like I consider peak as just in a spike state for perks. I've put in the neighborhood of well over 20,000 watts. I think most is around 24K. I've put into some U-Series subs. There's some good old testing. I think there's some U15 and U18 testing we did in the old Jeep. Some no-wall testing. Matter of fact, the U18 with about 24K, we ended up getting over 160 in that no-wall build. Now, I did this so long ago when I had the U-Series in Project SPL. Yeah, I was putting about 20K a piece in them in there, and I want to say I topped out in the mid 168s, mid high 168s. I got some U18s in that build, so they can take for peak or for that burp. They can more power than anybody should reasonably throw out.
For the burp,
Yes.
I'm going to see a big influx of U recones now.
Send us some business their way.
Yeah, grab your recones at caraudiobargain.com.
There you go. All right, what you got, Jerry?
I had a question about factory amps and factory woofers. Can you use the factory amp and just replace the factory subwoofer to an aftermarket? I'm assuming what they're asking is.
Yeah, he's saying keep everything factory in the car. You're just replacing your sub, and yes, you can very much do that. It's easy to do. Just find out basically two things, and the biggest one to me when doing any factory replacement stuff like that is mounting depth. Mounting depth's always what comes into play and is an issue. Like if you have a 6.5 inch sub, usually any 6.5 inch sub, mounting diameter will fit or will fit with minimal modification, but the mounting depth is always a killer. You gotta really pay attention to what you can run in there, and limited depth you'll have in a lot of factory cars.
Which is why the SA6.5 works out great in those applications.
SA6.5 is a beast. There's actually one right there.
Where?
Right there.
What?
Yeah, grab that.
Oh, it is.
Jared, grab the other one too.
This is
The U?
yeah, that's a prototype U6.5.
Prototype as in I can use it, or
Yeah, you
prototype?
can use it. We show it off.
Oh, that's way heavier.
Oh yeah, bring them around to the camera.
Alright.
I mean, you show them to your camera or our cameras.
Tell them which one. it was.
SA6.5, sealed back, so you don't have to worry about venting, or, yeah, that's right? Venting out of the back plate, sealed.
Correct.
Just wanna make sure I got that right. And then that's the U6.5.
U6.5.
Shit, sorry.
Looks like an 8.
Yep.
It
It's
feels like an
it's a
8.
big beast.
Hey, one second, Derek.
We're live right now. You gotta pull something? Just pull it. All right, go get dynamite, pull it.
Let me see
All right,
the
yeah, show the cameras here for us.
Alright. I don't
So yeah,
know.
it's SA6.5.
That's how you look, Jared.
Yeah,
Big as shit. So, oh, that's cool. I like that. It's like I'm lagging in real time. So this is the SA6.5, and there again, sealed backplate. This one offers venting through the backplate, through the holes from the gap. Derek, what else do I need to tell the nice people about these things?
I was reading a comment. Basically, the SA6.5. It's shallow. It's great. It's one of the best budget subs there is for me. I'm actually very soon looking to mount some little 6.5s on my side by side. Get some bass in it. I've already got the speakers with the Vexes on the back and everything, but I'm looking to add some more sub to it. So it's going to be the similar version to that. So we got the SA6.5. Then we have these.
Ooh.
And yeah, I kind of try and keep about one of everything. We'll try and make sure everybody can see them. The PSE. So this is our Power Sports subwoofer. Get y'all a close-up view here.
That thing is
PSE for Power Sports, Sundown Power Sports. Something we brought out big beginning of last year. We have speakers, coaxials, all waterproof. These were very specifically designed to work in small sealed enclosures. So if you run something like, let's grab one of these. No, I'm not gonna grab one of them. They got them out. So if you run something like pods, I run pods on my particular side by side. These that we have in 8s and 6.5s are actually designed to work in a small sealed pod. Something we hadn't seen before at all. Most guys just run speakers, don't do a lot of subs, or they'll try and do some kind of custom enclosure, custom bandpass or something. So it's like, well, when people just want to buy a sub, have it easily mountable, you just clamp it on, these in a small sealed pod, and they work great. And they're dirt cheap, and they work well in cars too.
The Vex 8 mid bass, or is a pretty good option for mid bass as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt. They're not rated waterproof, but those carbon fiber cones can take a beating.
Oh, they can.
Ask me how I know.
How do you know, Derek?
Oh, I pressure wash the crap out of them all the time.
I'm pretty sure we can say shit.
Yeah, I don't want to mess up anymore. Here we go. Two 15-inch XV3, 6th, 4th, or flat wall on 12K to be loud on the lows. I am a 4th order fan, especially with the X's, X15s. So I would recommend 4th. Now, six orders can be good. Here's what I don't like about 6th orders. They're bad. They can be hard to tune in. Now, if you got a good design or you hit up a good designer, there's several of them online on social media, get you a good design to build, a 6th order can be great. Most people don't want to take the time to dial in a 6th order properly because you have 2 porta chambers you have to dial in, and there's a lot of little things you have to do extra. Whereas if the 4th order, for the most part, your sealed section has a lot more give to it, where if you're a little big, little small, it's not going to make a massive effect. But you pretty much dial in your port, and you can get louder easier on a 4th order than you can a 6th. I'll put it like that. So that's why I'm a 4th order fan versus 6th order. All right, next up, you got one, Kyle?
No, I'm sure. I only get one person.
You want to see if you got another question, Jerry?
Let's see what we got. Compare the SA6.5 to the SML. That's kind of apples and oranges, but
I mean, if you're just they're probably just looking at the mounting depth.
just shallow.
Do you have any release date yet when we're getting the NSP6s?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Alright,
toward the end of summer
I
probably.
don't even know how we would compare.
I can't give you dates.
Wait, what happened?
Just compare mounting depth.
Go ahead.
I mean, they're gonna know you're comparing a 12-inch to a 6.5, but
Yeah.
what's the mounting depths like on those two?
Almost identical. I would
Yeah,
say
it's gonna be
within-
very similar. So, shout mount stuff like this is really popular in your pickup trucks, whether you got extended cab truck or a crew cab, something like that, trying to get subs under your back seat. These are both very good options. If you're doing any kind of, especially down firing something in the back of underneath your back seat, which is what I was working on in my truck, and that project fizzled out a little bit till I get back on it. But if you're looking to do any down firing or something like that, the SML12 is going to be your bet. It's going to perform a little better versus 6.5. Obviously, you're going to get a massive cone area difference here. But if you're doing a forward firing setup, so you're actually standing your subs up and firing forward underneath your back seat, that's where the SA6 Halves, they're going to shine, because you can fit, I believe it's 8 of them easily underneath the back seat of a truck. And in that instance where you're doing, say, 8 6.5s versus 2 12s, the 6.5s would be my pick there.
I always prefer forward firing over down firing, but that's mostly just because I don't like that muffled sound. That makes sense.
Totally makes sense. All right,
I didn't
next.
know you were on an under the seat build.
Yeah, I tried to have a whole build going on in my truck that fizzled out. I got all the electrical done, and then when it came to doing the custom enclosure inside, I got sidetracked and busy with other stuff. Have 2 U-Series 18s, got 2 amps, a 5K and an 8K. What size box is recommended? Well, let's start with you saying you have 2 different size amps. Let's hope you're not running them at the same time. Pick the 8K, run the 8K on your 2 18s, and as far as what size box, crew cab Chevy. Now, if you're looking to wallet, you're saying port or fourth. If you're looking to wallet, then you can go with a standard flat wall ported box, or fourth order. But I probably recommend fourth order there if you're going to do a full wall. If you're just building an enclosure to sit in the back, not a full wall, then definitely ported. Porter's going to be where it's at. 18s, you're looking at a minimum of 5 cubic feet. They will perform really well in as little as 5 cubes boarded. If you get them a little more than that, it's just going to depend on where you want your frequency response to be. You go a little bit bigger, it's going to shift your frequency response down if you're really looking to smash the lows. Typically, if you're running a U, your smash the lows isn't your primary concern. It's more traditional sound. Now, U's will play low. They're just not going to do it as good as something like, say, an X. X is going to play low better, but the U is still going to play low, and it's going to keep your traditional punchiness and get louder,
Right.
without a doubt. So yeah, something about 5 cubic feet per sub ported to about 32 hertz would be my preference, and send it. You got your question yet?
I'm dead. I'm just
I got one.
Ryan.
We're
Ryan,
live.
base of life. I am that kicker, dude.
It's the sponsorship question, and you normally field that one so much better because you explain the detail as to why. But I got a question on, do we offer sponsorships?
We do, not like most people think. So a sponsorship for us, basically it's like an employment opportunity. So we'll start with how to get a sponsorship is basically what we call our team program, Team Sundown. You're going to email teamsundown@sundownaudio.com. Send a resume, just as if you're applying for a job, because that's the way we look at it. The team program is a job. You're working for us. Your job to work for us is to advertise. If you don't have any experience in competing, demoing, going to car shows, advertising, so to speak, if you don't have experience in that, then we're probably not going to be interested. But if you do have a good track record, make sure to include that in your resume, just like you would list all your previous jobs and skills you have. Put that in your resume. Yeah, I'm getting dry. Put in your resume, send it in, we'll evaluate it, and you essentially get a team discount. We don't give anything away for free here. I work here, have for a long time. I don't even get product for free. I pay for everything that I get.
So what he's talking about, as far as if you go on sundownaudio.com, you scroll down, you'll see Clippo. You'll see my build, the purple and green build with the ZV6s in there. Click on that. That's the form you need. You fill that out and make sure you just go over it several times. Have somebody look at it. You know, like Derrick said, you're not just trying to get in there for discounts. You're representing a company, and they want to make sure that they're choosing the proper person to represent their company. So if you're going out there on the weekend and you're just talking all other brands and stuff like that, I don't feel Sundown would want to be, associated with what you're doing. So you also have to keep that in mind, not only what you do for the company and what you do outside of promoting and stuff like that. So just one tidbit of what I would throw in there. But sundownaudio.com, scroll down to the very bottom, you'll see Clippo. It says Team Sundown. Click on that, and that's what you need to do. So
You got any questions? Or?
I don't. I have an awesome 5 people in there, and I think I'm one of the 5. So I'm just trying to do something on my YouTube channel so I can get the views up on there, so I can start monetizing stuff like that. So, but
I gotta get a tablet. That's what I'm learning.
I thought you had one.
I
I
have an iPad.
brought
but
my
the
laptop
iPad-
in if I need it. We'll get it set up last time. So yeah, guys, if you're not subscribed to Straight Clipping, get subscribed. Help Kyle out. Give him some watch time. That's the only thing he's lacking right now to get his monetization status up.
right, and I think a lot of stuff comes up once you get more options and stuff to do stuff. If I'm not mistaken, kind of like TikTok. Once you get to a certain level, you can start promoting and advertising and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it, but
on TikTok, it's 10K, and then you can start doing.
I'm good on TikTok.
Which I'm almost there. I was 9961 when we started this. So if y'all don't follow Sundown Unofficial on TikTok, if you would, go give me a follow. I'm only 39 followers away from my 10K mark there. And so I hear after you hit 10K, it'll kind of explode. So I'm trying to put more effort in over there, more short videos. Some people don't have the attention span to watch live feeds like this. But as soon as I get everything kicked in over there, we'll start doing some live feeds on TikTok and so depending on which platform you guys like.
Yeah, it's hard
Looks
to
like-
choose exactly which one. YouTube, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, TikTok Live. It's kind of like,
Yeah. That might be the thing. We might need to all just 3 be on different platforms.
All right, we got a shout out. SFB Raiders sent $10 in.
Nice.
Thank you. Wasn't expecting that.
who's buying lunch today for it? No, I'm just kidding.
$10 won't buy much of a lunch anymore. Not the fast food places around here. But yeah, appreciate that. So 1 year ago, Salt 8 pre-order fried. Also frying the Spider on my Team Neo 15. Frying the Spider. Okay. Last one you guys had new. I built SD3 with your recones. Is the material and process the same for a team? As far as putting a recone in, yeah, pretty much if you recone one sub, it's similar on most of them. You're gonna shim your coil. Well, keep in mind, this is me assuming you've already pulled your sub apart, cleaned your frame, cleaned your spider landing, done all that. You got everything clean, you're ready to install your drop in. Our drop ins will come already pre-assembled. Some other companies, when you buy your drop in / recone kit, you're gonna buy a recone kit, but it's not gonna be a drop in. So the difference is, and this is just semantics and the lingo, a recone kit, they're gonna send you a box of parts. You're gonna get a separate coil and spider and cone and pieces, and you have to glue it all together. When you buy one from us, it's going to be a drop in. It's an already pre-built assembly that can literally drop right into your subwoofer. The only thing you have to do is shim your coil, slide your coil in, glue your spider, glue your surround, pull your shim out. Don't forget that, and glue your dust cap on. I'm making that sound really easy. It's a little bit more detailed than that, but that's the basics of it. If you've reconed one Sundown sub, you can pretty much recone all of them.
We should do that.
Hey,
on a lot
shout out to
of
Living Loud with Andy.
Yeah, shout out Andy.
Thanks for joining and subscribing, buddy. Thank you.
All right, let's see. Will an 8K Korean board push those new STDN subs? Yes, very, very much so. Any 8K, you won't have issue. Here on the bench, I had a pair of SA6 2500, so we'll say 5,000 watts of rated power. I had a pair of those on it, pushing it just fine. We're rating them 3,500 watts. That will be 3,500 clamped power watts. So depending on reactive and different variables like that, I would almost recommend going with a minimal Salt 6 if you run a Sundown amp. Minimal Salt 6 per sub. If you run 1 amp per sub, keep in mind you're going to be a half ohm unless you run one per coil. But that would be my choice. And then don't try this at home. But I would probably go for Salt 8, but minimum Salt 6 per sub. And then that way you have the overhead. We talked about that earlier. You don't have to worry about overdriving your amp or producing a clip signal, have any issues that way. We need the yard sale restock. The yard sale is kind of on a little bit of pause right now. We're going through a bunch of changes and new processes here. There is some stuff on the yard sale sitting in the back. We just haven't added to inventory yet. But we had a meeting last week, and there will be some yard sale changes coming and they haven't been finalized yet. Yeah, we got three phones going on.
Oh,
But
snap.
the RCL changes haven't been finalized yet, so once we get all the final details done and what we're gonna do and how it's gonna change, then the RCL will be back on track after that. Let's see, what's next?
You're good, Soulgasm.
FS frequency response of the STDN12. So that's coming soon. The subs, the 10, 12, 15, I got them all broken beginning this week. If you didn't catch us earlier, just check out those videos. There's some on here on the YouTube channel of me doing about a 20 minutes at 20 hertz on the STDN15. Also some short clips of the STDN10 taking it to full excursion. They're all up in the office right now, waiting to get all the specs pulled. So as soon as they get done, I'm trying to shoot a video of that, get all the specs pulled, and we'll get them all posted online.
We got Byron Chambliss in here in my live feed. Have you seen his build yet? He's got an Escalade build.
I have not.
Gately is the last video he sent to me. Gately had like all his employees working on that vehicle real quick.
Yeah.
I forget how many speakers he's doing, but it's ridiculous. If you haven't checked it out, Soulgasm is the name of the build.
I haven't seen it. I talked to him when I was at Sky High Barbecue last year, and he was first. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, dude, I knew he was getting it out there. When I talked to him last year at the Sky High Barbecue, talked to Bobby a little bit, and I think they were just getting started on it then, or he was in the works of the details of it and planning everything out. So
Yeah,
that's cool to see that build finally in process. I'll have to check out the video on it later. Let's see. Will SAE 2500 do half? No, do not do that. Now, if you want to run half on, go to Assault Series.
You could try.
Don't
Everything will work once.
we'll see you on the RMA.
Jerry will speak with you tomorrow.
No, to put it bluntly, none of our budget amplifiers. Don't try to abuse them. Just don't. They're budget amplifiers for a reason. So salt amplifiers, we don't. I can't say it for warranty reasons, but they'll absolutely run a half ohm. I've got them in quarter ohm in Project SPL right now. Even playing music in Project SPL, doing bass race runs and stuff. But yeah, if you want to run half ohm, get a salt amp. Go for a quality amp. Spend the money. It's going to be worth it.
Half ohm at 20 volts.
They will not run.
I mean, these guys are putting a 12K to an SA and
Yeah,
stuff.
no, it's all.
multipliers.
We're talking Yeah, we're talking DC input voltage to be specific there. Yeah, stay at 15 volts or less. Normally I say less than 15, 14.99. Stay under that. Some of the salts, the voltage cutoff varies. It could be around 15.8, it could be 16.2. Some of the different models vary a little bit. But they are SALT, stands for Sundown Audio Low Voltage Technology. They will make stupid power at 12 volts or lower. Everybody in car audio for the longest running AGM batteries, we're playing around 12 volts. They want a big power at 12 volts, not at 16 or 18. As soon as we come out with low voltage specific amplifiers, now everybody wants these custom lithium and these 16.5 and 18 volt builds again. Absolutely don't do that on a salt amp. I will straight up tell anybody, if you're running CMAX, you're trying to run 16 plus volts, just don't even run a salt amp. You're going to end up having issues.
Now the SFB 600, or we're not supposed to talk about that?
We can't confirm or deny how big a voltage the SFB's amps will run, but they're not warranted anywhere past 15 volts.
When the STDNs come in, will the recones be available for those?
Yeah, I mean, basically recones are available now. If we can build subs, we can make recones. It's just a matter of having parts in stock.
Matt, you getting STDNs in your build? The clipping expedition, that thing was ridiculous. I believe it's 618s.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Stupid. Like, it gives me goosebumps just listening to that truth. Something in this room, man.
You gave Kyle a
It's
boner.
talking. Yeah.
That might be what it is.
But yeah, STDNs are obviously, they're in the works. We've been posting a lot of pictures, video about them. They're being built in order of who put in what order first. So some of the first guys were Audio Shop and Down for Sound, Game Changer. James Bales has a few subs being built right now. Big Jeff had his STDN 10s because we also started with the smaller sizes. We started building 10s first, 12s, 15s. Right. We're getting the motors in small batches. So they're showing up in small batches, little by little, and we're building them as fast as we can, getting them out to dealers.
So if you want to get your pre-order in, go to caraudiobargain.com. You can pre-order yours. We're located in the Sundown warehouse, so we'll have ours pretty much the first as soon as they, get here. So because we're waiting on the second batch of motors to come.
Yep. Let's see, next, I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anybody.
1215s in the Soulgasm. That's gonna be crazy. I can't wait. If you look at that picture, I don't know,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything, but there's a Cadillac logo. in the
Yeah, that's
back
what I was
end.
trying to show him because obviously no one else knows.
Well, they know that. So.
Well,
So a lot of questions about NSV6s. There's not much to talk about them. We have 2 prototype NSV615s in the works. We've done a ton of testing on them here. I do not have even a rough ETA yet of when the motors will be here.
They don't have any specs pulled on them or anything, right?
I don't know.
Because I get that all the time. Why are you posting them for sale and they cost as much if you're not gonna put any specs up? It's like, we haven't.
Yeah, so it's because technically we don't have the production versions in the work. Now we will try and run specs on prototypes. So somebody what's going on with the Z8 right now. The Z8 is not built with all the original parts. We're trying to run initial specs, but we can't do production specs on them yet. In cases like we just showed you the U6 and a half right here. This is a prototype version. That's why there's no boot, nothing special on it, no logo on the dust cap. We do have the production versions in stock. So as soon as production gets going, running good, we always try and express a couple parts in very fast so we can do a final check, run specs on the actual production version of that. Same thing with this. We could give you some rough specs right now in the NSV6, but until actual production gets going, I don't like to make stuff like that official.
Right. I did have a question from Living Loud with Andy. Will Sundown ever come out with a loaded enclosures? And I think he thinks this would be great for the mid to entry level drivers.
Yeah, so this is going to be a multi-part answer. Short answer, yes. There's already been talks of doing loaded enclosures. A little bit longer answer is we've actually already been selling enclosures to the wholesale house, what we call flat pack. So we've been producing flat pack enclosures and selling them through the wholesale house. I'm not sure anybody really knows they exist. Don't know the current status of all that. Yeah, you can jump on here, Brian.
I came to just crash the party and say, hi motherfuckers, how's everybody doing?
Oh geez, there it goes. We're
Yeah.
banned.
There is monetization.
So, yeah, back to the short answer, yes, there have been talks of loaded enclosures. Yes, it will probably happen in the future. As far as ETA, I have no clue. If you want something as close as you can get to it currently, I don't know, the wholesale house has our flat pack stuff in stock, more in the works. So if you're a dealer, you go through the wholesale house as a distributor, hit them up, ask them about our flat pack enclosures.
Those are in our system, so we can invoice those.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not on a price sheet. Nobody
Yes.
ever gave us a real price for them.
That's what's pretty much as fast as we were bringing them in. We have these actually made locally right here in North Carolina. The America, all that. We have flat pack enclosures made right here.
I wasn't ready for the I wasn't ready for
What is that's just getting into the made in China, made in overseas versus made in America and all. So yeah, we have flat pack enclosures made right here in America, and pretty much as fast as we can have them made, boxed, and shipped out. The wholesale house has been cleaning us out of them. So that's we haven't really spent a lot of time marketing them or advertising or promoting them any because we can't keep the things in stock as it is.
Real quick question. The STDN versus
See
the
you guys later.
NSV6, why choose one or the other?
I can make this. Here's the simplest thing. STDN is going to run the slightly bigger 3.3 inch coil. I almost wish I had one. I don't have the coil here anymore. In the video I did with the NSV3 versus the STDN versus the ZV6, I showed some of the coil differences. So your ZV6 and NSV6 coil is going to be pretty similar, 3-inch coil. STDN bumps up to 3.3. That 3.3 inch coil and the cooling features in the STDN, it's going to handle more power longer. So if your goal is to smash the lows at high power for long periods of time, the STDN is going to beat anything else that we currently produce.
Gotcha. Let me see, one more.
I gotta figure out how to do that list. So I can-
What's up, Rory?
Kyle, what's the date for Ruckus Show this year?
It is going to be the first weekend in November. Just check it out on Facebook. It's up there. Just type in Ruckus and Chill 2023. The dates and all that stuff are up there. It's of course the 2-day weekend, like we always do, Saturday and Sunday. But it should be the first weekend in November.
All right. Sundown Show is August 19th. Pretty sure it's the 19th. So the third weekend in August. We always try to do it the third weekend in August. Only 1 year, the racetrack here, Hickory Motor Speedway, where we have it out every year, they double booked our date. And it was a charity race So when trying to move either our date or the charity race date, it was gonna be way easier for us to move Sundown Show that one year than versus a charity. So we was like, all right, let those guys have it. But other than that, it's always the third weekend in August. This year will be August 19th is Sundown Show. I need to jump on making an event page. I'll just keep forgetting about it every time I'm sitting at a computer.
I have a question for you, Derek. Square sub output versus circle sub output. What are your thoughts?
It can't be just that easy. And if you're, well, we'll put it like this: if with everything the same, all other parameters the same, it's just a 12-inch circle versus a 12-inch square. It's square, you are going to get more cone area. But when you're talking realistically, say you're going to have a square solo X here versus something like a ZV6, or I don't know what would be the equivalent price range or whatever, something like an extra ZV6. I don't know. I haven't got to hear one of these yet. I'm hoping we'll get some installs done soon to hear one. But
The
Cone area-
SBL output.
yeah, cone area isn't the king of all. So most people say cone area is king. Well, actually displacement is king. Cone area times stroke. Overall displacement is where displacement is what can beat cone area. So I'm a fan of Sundown subs, the big custom tool frames, the mega roll stuff, because of that. Because you can have even something that's a 10, but it's going to have massive amounts of displacement. So in that instance, Sundown might get the displacement edge if we're doing an apples to oranges comparison there. But other than that, every other parameter the same. Yeah, square cone's going to get you a little more cone area.
There you go, Roy.
I got a question.
Yep. Shoot it.
Salt 1.5 dyno. 0.5 guesses.
Half of them guesses.
Yep.
My guess is it's going to do marginally better than one of them.
I'm just looking at how many people we got.
Yeah, I'm at 96. I think I peaked to 111. I saw at one point. We just jumped to
I
102.
got the list.
I lost a whole bunch because my phone went into low power mode.
I got a battery pack right there. If you want to go and grab it.
Oh, no, that's
Oh, you got an iPhone, don't you?
well.
No, that's my iPhone.
Yeah,
Oh.
I got his phone.
He's,
Okay.
he's sponsored by DK
Can I
Ladies.
run 4 sets of
I am.
SA6
I am. Make sure to check that out.
6.6 CS coaxials off the front channels of my Salt 500.4?
Four sets. So
Like 4 pairs.
I-series to get 125 watts, or is it wise / possible? I don't know what this guy's talking about.
all right, so you're talking four pair. Basically, you're having four speakers, 4 per channel.
Right.
My traditional answer would be no, because I would recommend going all parallel, and in that instance, you're going to only want 2 per channel. Now, if you're talking about doing a funky series parallel thing, you can make it work. I'm just not going to recommend it, but yeah, it will work if you wanted to. Especially when it comes to mids like that, I'm not a fan of wiring mids in series. Series wiring can do very funky things to basically jump in from one speaker or one subwoofer to another in series. The only time I'll ever recommend series wiring, and
Hi, Kyle.
we'll use this for example. So here we got a subwoofer, it's a dual voice coil. If you need to series one coil to the other, that's okay. Seriesing multiple subs together is never a good idea. And so here's the reasoning for that. When you series one, because basically it's a dual voice coil sub, but it's one coil. You just got 2 windings. You series that, there's still only power in that one coil. When you series 2 subwoofers together, your alternating current goes back and forth. In order for the power to hit this sub, it's got to go through this one first, which means it goes through a resistor and the same back and forth. So it's you're gonna see phasing issues, and especially when I see guys that've done the series in multiple subs.
The daisy
Once you daisy chain, you start at 3. In order for power to get to that middle sub, it's got to go through a resistor first. So the middle sub will not see the same power, and the more you try and series together, the worse it's going to get. And we've seen massive. I just call them phase issues. It's the easy way to say it. But you're going to see massive power fluctuations and phase issues in running multiple speakers in series.
So that's like those slow motion videos where it looks like a woofer is actually moving before another one in a 212 enclosure type deal.
Yep, I've seen this in person. When especially when you get to three or more daisy chain together like that. I've seen it in person where things will start to get wonky and get out of whack, and people have issues. They won't have the proper output they should have. Yeah, it's just not a good idea to do it. My recommendation would be you've either add another amp, add another 2-channel or something to get what you need, or take the entire 4-channel, run it all on your components. Whatever you're doing with your back channels, just add a separate amp.
I had a question. question about your Solo X. I don't know if you wanted to do a quick commercial.
Quick commercial?
You should probably leave your thing up here so you can plug it in because your phone's almost dead.
I'm about to go back to work in a minute.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, somebody asked about the Kicker Solo X. I figure you might want to tell them about it.
Okay. What did they ask about?
Yeah,
So they just asked if it was one.
Yes, yes. This is the
Sorry.
brand new
Yeah, that's
Bring it
the
around.
Kicker Solo X12. This is the D2 model.
Oh,
There we go. Hey, what's
Yeah,
up?
throw one in there.
You're all good.
TikTok?
So here we go. It's about 63 pounds weight wise. We're gonna do 16 of these with 16 3600.1 war horse amps on there. So there we go. Pretty cool. You can pretty much take this whole thing apart. The surround comes out with the whole spider and the terminals all attached. It's all filled serviceable. So there you go.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a text message.
All right. Looks like I got a bunch of questions popping in here at the bottom. Is it possible to see a Sundown subwoofer at 10,000 watts RMS? I don't want to say
Yes.
it's impossible, but I don't think we're going to see one anytime soon. Currently, the 3.3 inch coil is getting rated 3,500. Also, keep in mind all Sundown's wattage ratings are all extremely underrated. When we bring back the 4-inch coil, it will likely again with the team be 5,000 watt rated. Currently, there will be a monster 5-inch coil. I know there's been some info leaked onto that. Don't know what the power rating is going to be once we get all the stuff in, and we do have some of the parts in already. Once we get all the parts in and stuff built, and we start doing the R&D and testing work, we'll produce a rating out of that. So I don't expect it to be 10,000 watts.
So let me ask you this. I have to ask. So you've got 3,000 watts for the nightshade, right?
Mhm.
Why is everybody wanting 10,000 watts RMS? Are you really going to be that much louder with quadruple the power? I mean, if it's in the same if it's in the same enclosure, by making it more RMS rating, is it going to be louder?
So, if this is the way I'm understanding your question, you got the demo bow guys nowadays. They just want to build something. They don't want to test and tune or dial anything in to get louder.
Right.
They just want to build it and let it be. So then their only solution later is to go with bigger subwoofers and more power.
Right.
And that's where the chain begins. Once something's already built, they're like, all right, I got an X. Well, I need it louder. Well, let me add more power. Oh, the X's won't take it. Now I'm gonna go to a bigger sub. Let me go to a Z. Let me go to a nightshade. Let me go to STDN and just add a bigger sub and bigger power, because that's the easiest way for people to get loud.
Mm-hmm. So, but with more, I guess you'd say with more wattage comes more money, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yes.
The more power, obviously, the bigger sub is going to cost more to handle the more power. The bigger amplifier is going to cost more money. You also have to beef up your electrical while you're doing all this. You can't just keep adding big power to cars. We saw a period where we couldn't keep 8Ks in stock, and it was funny. We were getting those stimulus checks, and it was just enough money to buy an 8000D, the SFB 8000. We sold out of those things so fast. And you could tell people were putting them into their stock Altima. That we were getting warranty returns with literally 18 gauge wire, like power wire, in an 8,000 watt amp. And people were trying to wire these things up with just speaker wire and blowing them like crazy. And yeah, there's a lot of bad reputation going on with SFBs when it's just they're a budget amp. You can't abuse them. You can't beat on them. You surely can't put an 8,000 watt amp in a stock vehicle with a stock 65 amp alternator. Your Honda Civic ain't going to support it. So, yeah, that's the price of getting loud in that fashion. You got to keep adding electrical, adding bigger power, adding bigger subwoofers.
Okay. I figured I'd just throw it out there
Yeah.
for everyone watching.
And in a perfect theoretical situation, yes, the bigger subwoofers, more power, you're going to keep getting louder. Unless for some reason your enclosure is built in a way, which usually happens if you say you're doing a basic ported box, but you make it really big. I've seen guys trying to run 5 cubic foot boxes for say one Z12, and that's way too big. You absolutely, pretty much over 2.5, you're just going big for no reason. 2.5 will let you smash the lows adequately. You will not gain anything playing something like an X12, ZV612, and actually 12 and going over 2.5 cubes. I've actually done that testing where I literally built boxes from 1 cubic foot to 1 1/4 to 1.5, all the way on up, and we did mass testing. I've spent days and days and days just testing these subs in all kinds of different enclosures and different criteria. That's why most of the recommendations that's on the Sundown website are results of lots of testing that we've done here in-house.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Real Spill Midwest Boxing Talk, set $4.99. Awesome, appreciate that. I have 4-ohm DDC, 1000 watt RMS, 2000 watt max subs. What rated amp would you recommend? Well, you didn't say what brand the subs are, so I'm gonna go with it. They're rating them 1000 watts, feed them 1000 watts. So so I have 4-ohm DDC, 1000 watt RMS, 200 watts max subs. You didn't say how many, but yeah, I would give your subs what they're rated 1000 watts. A lot of other companies out there don't rate their stuff the way Sundown does. If we say a subwoofer will handle 1000 watts, we mean you can put 1000 watts clamped actual power in that sub and play it all day long. Other companies, when they say our sub takes 1000 watts, they mean you put one of their 1000 watt amps on that sub rated 1000 watts. And that might also mean their amp that might not do 1000 watts. They might call it a 1000 watt amp and it actually does 500, but they're going to call it a 1000 watt amp to match with that 1000 watt sub. And then that sub's only going to handle the 500 less whatever it sees on reactive mode.
Right.
So if it's another brand stuff, I'm gonna recommend you match up their wattage amplifier that matches their RMS wattage on their subwoofer. If it's a Sundown sub, yeah, go double. So Sundown 1000 RMS sub like SA12, put a two.
Jerry, the return. Right. Jerry's increase.
Let's see. I thought I had a bunch of questions right here. What's up with the 3-way components? They're pretty much finalized. I don't know if we can see them all right there behind Kyle. Right here. Yep. So this is the new V4 component set. The SA 3-inch mid ranges are at Clippo right now. There's going to be some small adjustments done to them, but they're off getting full Clippo testing and all the specs tested right now. Small adjustments will happen. Then it'll come back in as a new prototype for testing after that.
Are those a mini version? Are those a mini version?
Yeah, right. But the V4 components are pretty much finalized. They all tested out great. Everything was perfect. We're gonna roll with those. What we see is Salt 1500 dyno. I have some short clips of the Salt 1.5 out right now. Will be a full dyno coming very soon. I don't know if I'll get to it next week or the next month or so. I'm trying to get it tested. Actually have it right there. Grab that 1.5. So. Yeah, so initially the Salt 1, Salt 1.5s were produced specifically for one of our distributors. Now we produced them specifically for them. They were the only ones with them for the longest time. They're now coming into stock. Don't have an exact date yet. It could be between 90 days and 6 months if I put a guess on it right now. Salt 1s and Salt 1.5 is going to be coming fully in stock for all dealers, all distributors to get their hands on. So that's pretty much what I'm waiting on. The moment that they land, that they're available for everybody, then I will do a lot of the promoting for them once they're available. Where are we at?
I'm gonna go ahead and end my live.
Okay, it's all good.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We're going to be doing this every Thursday. This is just for my YouTube. So y'all have a good one. We'll talk to y'all later. Derek's still going to stay in here, though, guys.
And why do you keep talking about kicker when it's a Sundown?